Hi, this is Cindy Cochran. Welcome to the archives of the Cindy Cochran Show. Remember, I'm live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11, right here on irlonestar.com. You can be a part of the show by calling 936-647-3776. Also, please visit my Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show. And let me say a special thanks to our show sponsors, BK Meyer Photography. If you would like to be a sponsor of The Cindy Cochran Show, contact me at cindy@irlonestar.com. Enjoy. Good morning. I'm back. Yes, I am. This is live. So, it's not fake. It's not a playback of some other thing I have done. I am live, and I even have people here to verify it. I have Jennifer Meredith, who's a clinical social worker, and she has her small private practice in the Woodlands. It's called Walk and Talk. That's right, Woodlands Walk and Talk, and last Sunday, I didn't know if I could do that walk and talk. So this is so exciting to be back. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, if you didn't know. And I also wanted to thank all the precious people that have prayed and sent me, that they're praying and their comments and all that. Because sitting in that hospital room, I was trying to dwell on all the good things so that I would not be stressed. And it was your comments and your likes. Just a little like just validates everything. So welcome, Jennifer, and you can jump in anytime that you want to.
Well, great, Cindy. Thanks so much for having me today, and we are very, very thankful to hear that you're feeling so much better.
You're so sweet, and this is your first time on the radio, huh?
It is the first time on the radio, so I'm going to just pretend that we're in my counseling office, okay?
Oh, perfect. Now I'm nervous.
Maybe you should be.
Yes, I should be, because we're going to talk about, as we go along, the evils of stress and that how to control it. There's got to be ways to control it, but the problem with me was I didn't know I was under stress, even though I am in stressful situations, but I feel like I got them all handled and they're workable and it's going to be okay kind of thing. But Jennifer, I didn't even know. Have you ever had people tell you, I didn't know I was stressed?
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of times people who don't know they're stressed maybe are having other people comment about that for them. Or you end up with physical issues that come along with that, because a lot of times when we're stressed and don't know it, it starts affecting our bodies in a lot of different ways. And so, that can come with heart's beating fast, sweaty palms, or just kind of being really tired and exhausted. And so some of those are good symptoms even to look for, when you're feeling some of those ways, to kind of maybe look at and ask yourself, is there any stress in my life that I'm not aware of?
Well, what's so interesting is that when, what happened was I was at church and I started feeling this tightening and this pressure on my chest, and I'm going, I must have slept wrong, and I was trying to stretch, and my daughter asked me, Christy said, what's wrong with you? And I said, nothing, I just feel this weird feeling in my chest. She said, weird feeling in your chest? That must mean you have a heart attack. I said, no, it's just I'm feeling weird. Then I started feeling bad, like I was losing all my energy, and I just was like sinking in the seat. And so she says, something's wrong, Mom, something's wrong. So she tells my son, sitting about two people down, and he says, he reaches his arm over, grabs me, picks me up. He says, we're going to the hospital. And so we take up a whole row. And so everybody gets up and we walk out. And that starts a stress factor. And then as you're on the way to the hospital and everybody's following you, and I'm going like, y'all don't need to go to the hospital. Let's go check this out. I mean, no problem. And I know everybody's hungry as can be. We all are as soon as church is over. And so I said, y'all just go get somebody. Quit worrying about us. That's the problem you got. You have to worry about us. So I get to the hospital, and they check me out. And so they start feeling like, because of my age, because of my weight, and because of the fact that I'm diabetic and hypertension, I've just got everything going wrong for me, for they feel like I'm going to stroke out or I'm going to have a heart attack. But I'll tell you, the one thing that does, the silver lining in that was that you get right in. You don't have to sit
There's no waiting line.
There's no
when
waiting
you're
line
having
with a heart attack.
problems.
Yes, yeah. And I don't mean to ever use that because that's a serious problem. And I never want to take somebody's place that is really having a serious problem. But they looked at it as it was and took me right in. And they start, all these electrodes all over you. And then we're going to put this nitroglycerin in under your tongue so that we'll see if this will work. But I had that done one time before when they thought it wasn't a heart attack, and that opens up all your blood vessels. But it does mostly in your head, and you have this horrific headache. And I mean, I thought my head was going to blow up. I would have rather didn't have this happen because it was so painful. So they knew that I was going in this with trepidation. I did not want to have this done. And so they gave me that. So everything that they were doing was causing and building on more and more stress. And then they took me in and did a stress test, which was really funny. I could tell you, why are we going to do the stress test? But they inject you. Instead of putting you on the treadmill for like so many minutes, they inject you with how your body would respond to exerting itself. So there you get this injection of whatever this chemical is, and you feel like you're running a marathon, and then it goes away like in within 5 minutes it may be over with. But the minute they put that in the IV, I was like, I couldn't talk. I was breathing real hard. My heart was really beating fast. So if they're going to throw you into a heart attack, go ahead and do one of those things because that was weird. And so then you're sweaty and all that after the fight in just 5 minutes. Man, it was amazing. So now I thought, now a good thing with this is maybe they need to maybe modify this so that you could do this. Lay in your bed, watch TV, and go through your exercise.
Right. I mean, it's a shame you couldn't burn those calories while you're experiencing all of that.
That's exactly right. So I was impressed with how, they took me through every gamut of tests, through that. But nobody ever asked me. No one asked me the question, are you under stress? Or is there something going on in your life that could be causing stress? Before they started everything. Right. But because of all these other factors, they had to do that. And then they had to keep me overnight and all that and never let me sleep.
Right. And that definitely doesn't induce any more stress into your life.
I was so tired and I wanted to sleep, but they're in there every 5 minutes saying, Miss Cochran, okay, it's time for this or it's time for that. And I didn't get that. But it was quite an experience. But St. Luke's is a great hospital, and everybody was really nice and congenial, and they and nobody said. So every morning you get up and you do a talk show for an hour. You talk for an hour. Does that bother you in any way? No, not at all. Richard bothered me sometimes, but not talking for an hour does not bother me. But I just hope this makes Richard be nicer to me and make.
I was convinced you were making it all up so she didn't have to come in.
That's exactly right. I think she wanted a couple days without
I
you.
needed some rest.
She's just so afraid of me, of telling me anything negative or anything, and she's like, he's just not going to like what he hears. So I went to the hospital. There you go. Bye.
Yeah. That's right. She's like, I'm not coming in. I've got to sleep for a few days.
Yeah, and I'll bring about 5 doctors saying that it was okay for me to be out. But Dennis O'Connor had the best comment. He goes, Cindy, I would have been afraid, but, I've seen you die on the air many times and you came back to life, so it's okay. Not mean. He was like, I don't know what to do with my 10 o'clock hour, but I'm so glad. I hope Dennis is listening right now. Thank you for your comments, Dennis. They were wacky and weird like you are, and I had to take a while. It took me a while and distracted me trying to figure out what it is we were saying exactly. But anyway, I thank you for your prayers too. I think he prayed. He doesn't really believe in all that, but I think he prayed. I just had a feeling he might have. But he said I should have. He said I should have thanked the doctors. Wow, that was. He said I should have thanked the doctors instead of thanking God and all that. Thank the doctors and tell them thank you. I said I hugged everybody and told them thank you, and that I really appreciated all the work they do and all that. But anyway, it was really a lot of interesting time, and got to meet a lot of new people in a lot of strange ways, and got a lot of Facebook family to communicate with, and I enjoyed that a whole lot. So
yeah, it is sometimes interesting the way that some of our stresses and struggles bring people closer together and kind of unite them and bring our support system even closer. So
it does, and I think that in what you do you endorse? Do you say being on Facebook is a good thing, or do you find it can be bad for some people to have that kind of interaction?
Right. That's interesting, and that's something that both professionally and personally that sometimes can have its pluses and minuses. One of the things that I find is that I like being able to know when there are friends of mine that need to be prayed for or need something.
Right.
But I also find that sometimes I'm exposed to extended people that I'm not really friends with, their difficult stories and their hard times that can be emotionally stressful as well.
Right.
That when I'm opening the door for reading lots of difficult stories and lots of people's challenges that I'm not connected to or that I'm not engaged with doing life with, that can actually cause some stress and some strain emotionally for myself or for different clients and different people I work with.
So then I expect from hearing that I shouldn't, or people shouldn't be watching Housewives of Atlanta or Housewives of Beverly Hills. Is that true, or is that people work their problems through those people and say, I don't have it so bad?
Yeah, I was going to say there's a little bit of both, right? Sometimes it's comic relief.
Yes.
And then sometimes it's a real challenge for us.
Well, we're going to talk more about stress and how to overcome it and the evils of it and all that. So you're listening to Cindy Cochran Show, and we thank you so much for joining us. We've got a lot to talk about, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Cindy Cochran Show, real reality radio.
Our community's animal shelters cannot absorb accidental litters of kittens and puppies. Approximately 80% of the animals entering our shelters will not make it out alive. Please help be a part of the solution. Please spay and neuter your pets. Many low-cost options are available. Visit texaslittercontrol.org to learn more. That's texaslittercontrol.org. And remember, real Texans don't litter. Please spay and neuter your pets.
Tune in every Sunday night right here on Lone Star Internet Radio for adventure, romance, thrills, chills, and everything vintage radio drama can bring. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour comes to you every Sunday at 7 p.m. with brand new episodes monthly. Our productions always feature actors, music, and sound effects performed completely live. And now you can enjoy seeing each new episode performed on stage at the Owen Theater in Conroe. Check out www.irlonestar.com for information about upcoming episodes. Relive the glory days of vintage radio drama right here with the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour on Lone Star Internet Radio.
I'm Lieutenant Bob Berry with the Conroe Police Department, reminding you that drinking and driving do not mix. Drinking and driving causes an alcohol-related fatality every hour in the United States. Stay sober and stay alive.
Heaven's Army of Resources and Recreation Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization featuring a 10,000 square foot building located at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas. At Heaven's Army, we offer over 26 different services free for all ages, from karate, dance, drug and alcohol classes, anger management, parenting, food and clothing pantries, to just name a few. We are supported solely by volunteers and private donations. Our main mission is to glorify God in all that we do. At Heaven's Army, we strive to be a hand up, not a handout. Come check us out at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas, or call for more information at 281-689-5864. You may also learn more about Heaven's Army by visiting our website at heavensarmyofresources.com.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Even if these walls could talk, they couldn't get a word in edgewise.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show, and our special guest is Jennifer Meredith, licensed social worker, licensed clinical social worker. Clinical, I didn't get that clinical in. But Jennifer has a company business in the Woodlands called Walk and Talk, and I want to know more about that because we all need to feel pretty confident that we can do that. And sometimes in our life we feel like, I don't think I can take one more step because it's so, depression or things like that get to you where you feel like, I can't.
Right.
I don't want to talk about it. I won't even walk to the next room.
Right. Yeah, well, that's kind of where Woodlands Walk and Talk was born out of. I've been a counselor for about 15 years and saw, just the opportunity that someone in New York actually started the concept of walk and talk counseling and realized that no one was doing that here in the Woodlands, but we have a really active community. And so a lot of my clients enjoy walking versus sitting in the office. And what that does, it allows us to talk through the different struggles that are going on in their life, but also it just even gives your mindset a forward progress. It gives you the outlook that we're making progress, we're doing something to change. And I see that people a lot of times have new ideas or different ideas of what, how to solve their problems as we walk. And then they also get that benefit of physical exercise as well. A lot of us have trouble fitting that into our daily routine, and so you kind of get to do both those at once.
I think that is amazing. I didn't realize that had, it literally is walking and talking.
Right.
And so, I don't know if I could do it without getting out of breath.
Well, so that's
slowly.
That's one thing I tell people. I have people that are of all different, some people who are runners that, I can hardly keep up walking with because they can walk so fast and my short legs have a little trouble sometimes. But then also people who there's actually a pond right there where I start walking. We walk on the waterway
right
down in the Woodlands.
Oh,
and
right.
So there's a pond there that's probably about a 1/4-mile loop, and there are some chairs and some places to sit down there as well. So we just walk at whatever pace people are wanting to do. And we find, too, that sometimes if people are talking about something that they're emotionally connected to, they might be able to walk faster, but they find that their pace might be slowing down, or
right.
if they get really excited about something, the pace might.
Well, what's
speed
so
up,
cool is because the walking, starts the endorphins that you need to help you be calm, and then talking through things. Now, I've seen a lot of people walking and talking to themselves. I guess that's not what we're talking about, though. You're there always with them, talking to them, asking them questions. I mean, I guess if it got too bad, if you had, people that couldn't slow down their walk, they could push you in one of those carriages, the baby carriages. Those guys have got those, kids in the
jogger strollers.
The jogger stroller, that's it, the jogger stroller. And I think, what a cool way to entertain the kids, and get your exercise in.
Yes.
And I saw that in the Woodlands. You see everything in the Woodlands that is cool, new, and progressive.
Definitely.
But having your someone to help you through some issues, walking along with you, it seems like a Woodlands thing to do as well. But it's so practical. It sounds like really, really a good thing to do. Now, what about over the fence, like leaning over the fence and talking to someone who doesn't like to work out? Because getting them up in a different environment and not having to lay down on the couch and now tell me all your problems kind of thing. What is there any other ways that you do this?
Well, I mean, one of the things, right, some people do prefer to meet in the office. Sometimes it's because they have to go, they're on their lunch break and they don't feel like they can walk. But really just kind of my style and my philosophy is kind of just like we're doing here, sitting and talking, and kind of even more of a coaching environment where we're looking at what things can we do to make positive change, and just what's going on for you that can help with that. So luckily in my office, I actually only have a love seat, so nobody has to lay down on the couch for counseling.
Except they curl up in a little ball. That's what they feel like. No, I think that's so interesting, because it's like you want to get out of someone what is bothering them, and when you're talking to them, you're asking all the questions, and they're a lot of times feeling like, I'm here for you to give me the answer. But until you ask those questions and let them hear themselves out loud, doesn't that make a difference to hear yourself out loud? One of my goals and philosophies is really helping people find the strength within themselves. That it's more my role to kind of, that's why Walk and Talk works so well, because my job is to journey alongside of people to help them find the strengths that they have inside themselves and where they're wanting to go. So, yeah, it's amazing. Like when we come to that place ourselves and go, oh, that's what's causing me so much stress, or that's the thing, then it makes a deeper change in our hearts and in our lives. Well, I think, does it affect you as the one trying to get this out of them and talk them through this, that they've seen too many movies and their expectations are what they think it's going to be like talking to you, and getting through what they want to get through is dramatized in the movies and stuff, and they've got the wrong conception of it. Yeah, I don't guess I hear that a whole lot. I think that I have to remind myself that people might be feeling a little bit anxious coming in for counseling, because oh no, it's going to be really intimidating. But again, I really try and be just where people are and help them even from that first appointment to start looking for ways that they can make positive changes in their life so that they feel empowered to do that. So, but now, okay, and as a person, just personally, did you go Analyze This? You know what? No. You did not see it? I stick away from a lot of those movies. It was just very hysterical, because of how you think that someone that would have to have some kind of counseling or psychological, analysis, how they reacted to it. Right. And it was just so bizarre. And watching Billy Crystal, who seems like he needs a lot of counseling himself, go through it. It was really a funny movie, but I can see where that was certainly maybe disturb some people's way of thinking, like that's not the way to do it. So I certainly like your approach. I think that is wonderful. I never heard of that before, the walking and talking. So it started in New York? Yeah, there was a social worker in New York that started doing that, and it kind of gives people a more relaxed atmosphere, and maybe a feeling more of coaching, and kind of, here I am making some purposeful changes in my life, and I'm having somebody to kind of help me do that, versus sometimes a feeling of, oh, I need to go get counseling. I mean, we can all benefit from talking to somebody when things are stressful, or when, just when life circumstances start to get the best of us. Well, it was funny, this event in my life, going to the hospital and them thinking I was having a heart attack, and then really it came down. The very last, the nurse that was signing the papers for me to go home, and I said, now, could stress bring on something like this? That was the last question after all those tests. And she said, oh, of course. Oh, yeah. Have you been under stress? I said, that's the first time somebody said that as I'm leaving the hospital. Right. And I said, I think they have a book to go by. Right. And when somebody's experiencing this, they're this age, they're, have all these other problems with them. Here's what you do immediately to keep us out of any, problems legally. So it was very interesting, because they came in and did all these tests and stuff without asking the human questions. It was all by the book. So I thought that was really interesting. Like how do I when I go in, and I usually try and tell the doctors more than they ever wanted to know, trying to tell them all this stuff, but it was always a physical thing. But they saw that the blood sugar was so high that was the danger. That they thought was more of an immediate danger than the other because of what that could do. So they immediately started doing the stuff they're supposed to do for that. Still, like they didn't say, have you been taking your medicine? Have you not been taking your medicine? And I am a denier. And I believe that, I thought if I drank enough water, it would solve all my problems. And so that's what I needed to do. And I would be fine. Why would I even need all this medicine and stuff? Because I'll do that. I'll still eat the way I want to eat and all that, but I'll just drink more water to dilute those problems. I had myself convinced that it was working. I didn't even want to test my sugar because I thought I'm sure it was working. I did everything.
You could eat as much Bluebell as you wanted as long as you drank
and diluted it into
water.
a very
I gotcha.
thin. It was my own little thing, and I'm so bad about that with a lot of things. But that was what got my attention because I thought I was doing a really good thing because I was supposed to have some surgery, and the doctor said your blood sugar's too high. We need to bring it down. So they put the saline solution, injected it, and within just like minutes, it came down like 50 points. I was like, "What? That's what fluid can do? Well, that's what I need to do. That would be better than having to take those pills and all that stuff." So when I started drinking the water, I lost 20 pounds drinking the amount of water. It says like half of your weight in ounces you're supposed to drink. So I started drinking water. It was a career, like to drink all that water and get it done in a day. And I was like feeling great, like my knees didn't hurt. There's just so many things that went along with that. So I thought I was like, great. And so I didn't want to go to the doctor because I was in denial. I didn't want him to tell me anything different. So this was a forced feed, and they got my attention, and I went, okay, I'll be better, and I need to do better so that I get to spend more time with the grandchildren.
That's exactly right. And when you show up at the emergency room, they're going to get out the medical book and say, we need to keep you alive.
Yes, that's all they're trying
and that's
to do.
their main purpose, and we're thankful for that.
Yes.
And so sometimes even I do end up having people come into my office. A lot of physicians refer people to kind of deal with the stress and anxiety that is maybe exacerbating some of the physical symptoms that are going on as well.
So I need to come to you.
That's exactly right. We should meet on the waterway to walk.
That's right. And if I could record it, then we'll use that as part of
that would be ideal.
The radio program. Yes, but some of my deep, dark secrets, you don't want them.
You might not want them on the radio.
Oh, it would be a whole different story, a whole different program. No, really, I don't think I'm that deep at all. Just like my husband says, you're expecting to find layers or, me, a whole lot more dimension to me than there is. And I'm just one dimensional.
Right.
Quit trying to create the other.
Right.
Tell us about marriage counseling.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. Speaking of your husband, that a lot of times we do that as well. And I do marriage coaching as well. I work with the Smalley Institute, which
Smalley?
Michael and Amy Smalley started the Smalley Institute, and we do Reignite Marriage Intensives.
Okay.
And so they're 1, 2, or 3 day intensives where one couple and one coach come together to learn new communication styles. A lot of times for these couples, especially for a 3-day intensive, they're in a pretty significant amount of stress in their relationship. And so it's an opportunity to kind of clean up the messes that maybe have been caused over 15, 20 years of marriage.
Wow.
And get a fresh start. So,
wow. That reminds me of a show that I'm just totally attracted to, and I'm watching it all the time now. I'm like binging on it. And I want to tell you about that. It reminds me of what you just said. We're talking to Jennifer Meredith, licensed clinical social worker, and great things coming up because we're getting ready to talk about marriage and the communication. I love that stuff. So you're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Real reality radio.
At Jazzy Junk, volunteers reclaim, restore, and recycle. Jazzy Junk is a non-profit resale storefront where you will discover wonderful, unique finds at very affordable prices on furniture, antiques, books, art, home decor, and more. When you shop Jazzy Junk, you support New Danville, a community for adults with developmental disabilities. We receive new donations daily, so plan a visit to Jazzy Junk today to find that perfect item or gift. Our motto is here today, gone today, so remember to hurry in and shop often for the best selection. Jazzy Junk is located in the outlets at Conroe on League Line Road and I-45 North. Call 936-441-4500 or visit our website, jazzyjunk.org, that's Junque, for more information and store hours.
Hey, this is Cindy Cochran, and now Conroe can boast of another first. The first morning live talk show, 10 to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio, coming straight out of the fabulous downtown Conroe, Texas. Be the coolest guy at the water cooler, or the most informed break room dweller by listening to the fun side of the news, local, national, infinity, and beyond. The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. Through our Operation School Bell program, we have provided new clothes to over 50,000 students in our county. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Conroe now has another first, The Cindy Cochran Show, mornings at 10 a.m. on irlonestar.com.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited to be back. If you just joined us, I'm back live. This is not a pre-recorded program. It's really, really me. And we've been talking about stress and what stresses you out and what makes you go like, oh no, it's not again. And I hope it's not this program. We never want to stress anybody out on this program. Only the candidates that need to, and that's nationally, and I don't think any of them are listening, but it's okay. I could not believe that Donald Trump did what he did, dropped out of the last debate. What's wrong, Donald? What's wrong with you? If anybody knows Donald, please call and tell him I said that, because it was like, to me, like the dumbest thing he could have done, but with his popularity, I just don't know. I don't know if there's... He just said, I could stand in the middle of Times Square and shoot somebody, and my followers would still be there, and I would still even have a higher probably poll number. So with that kind of thinking, and so he thinks, let's just push this a little further and say that he's mad at Megyn Kelly, and he doesn't think that she's kind to him, so I'm not going to be on the stage. I don't care what you say, I'm not going to do it. And it's just what it sounded like. Sound like some little, brat. So Donald, I hope something happens so spectacular tonight that you either change your mind, or since all these other cable networks are going to be covering your event, which is to help and give money to the veterans and our war heroes, and to give money to that organization, that's fine. I'm so happy that you're doing it. But the silliness just overcomes me in this deal. So I'm trying to figure this out, because I think you had a great momentum going, and a lot of things were going well. And I think you were going to be, a step out of the ordinary, and you were going to be able to get all of these people that are experts and bring them in and make this a better place. But, okay, you decide not to do that, fine. But that hurt my feelings. That just hurt my feelings. I just don't know what you were thinking. A lot of people are going, Cindy, what were you thinking even to think like that? But that's okay. And but it's not going to stress me out, Donald. It's okay. I'm not going to stress from this. Anyway, so good luck tonight. The last Republican debate is tonight on Fox News. So that's going to happen. But all the other cable stations are going to be showing this event he's going to do, this charity event raising money for the vets and wounded veterans. So we'll see what happens and who wins on that. He has made it more interesting. Nobody would ever listen to this many debates. And I think he's right. There's too many debates. They've had too many debates because they all say the same thing every time. And then Hillary Clinton and them, they're going to have another debate because it's just getting too interesting. And everybody's been telling and complaining, saying that the Democratic National Party has put these debates, and only like 3 debates during the weekend, during times when nobody's watching TV anyway. So it was a way to like maybe cover for her and keep her as the nominee because nobody's going to hear anything else. Well, that's not true. Bernie Sanders has just done amazing. He's gotten huge numbers of people coming to his rallies and stuff, and so it started kind of scaring them, and now there is a talk of another debate for the Democratic Party, so we'll see. More wasted time on TV. These debates are ridiculous. I mean, we've got it. We got it. We're smart enough. We've got it. But I guess the more information, the better. So I hope that you're being informed. And tomorrow, I've got Dwayne Ham. He's running for a Texas State Representative of the 9th District, and he's going to be here.
I don't know where you're getting that information from.
What, the 9th District?
That's not...
No, it's not nice. As soon as I said it, I thought, this isn't right. But...
Well, you weren't going to tell your audience that? You're just going to go with it until someone calls you out?
No. I was going to wait till we go to our next break.
Typical Republican. Typical Republican.
I was going to wait till we go to the next break and then look it up and go like, oh, sorry, I said that. I misspoke.
Typical Republican. Always apologizing after the damage is done.
No, that's not the Republicans. You're talking about the wrong party. No, but I misspoke. What district is it?
He's not running for anything.
What are you talking about?
He's the one of the head guys over the Texas Conservative Tea Party Coalition.
I just got his thing that said Texas State
Representative. And he might be running for city council.
He's like 2 things he's running for, right?
All right, we'll talk about that after.
Well, wait. Okay, when we come back from this next break.
I was going to say I might have to chime in here and reduce the stress going on here.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to call him. Let's just call him because that's what I thanked him for, and I'm sure that's what he sent me. Okay, well, look and see. But you know how I am. I've been in the hospital. I was in the hospital.
Again, Republicans make excuses, and it's...
I can't help it.
They blame Obamacare on everything. So...
I had palpitations, and I wasn't feeling... Okay, I'll find out for sure. I certainly don't want to mislead anybody, but I'm telling you, I'll show you the text I got. Let's see what you think it says. All right. So anyway, we have been talking about mostly everything but politics, but I did want to bring that up and let you know about that because we have to spice it up a little. What's going on? What's up? But we do have our February the 16th. Is that correct? Did I say the right date? At least for they start voting early.
Early voting, yes.
Okay. See. Hello. And then
what day is voting?
March 1st.
Yes, there you go.
Yes. Whew. It's hard. It's like this is what I'm telling you. I mean, Jennifer's sitting over there right now saying, I know what your problem is. I'm going to be better. It's okay. No, I can handle it. All right. So Jennifer Meredith, our licensed clinical social worker, Woodlands business called Walk and Talk, and she takes her clients, they take her on a walk with them because they have 55 miles worth of walking area, and that's right. I know that's right. I live there. That you can walk around that beautiful place, and but you talk out your problems. You walk and talk, and she walks slow enough with you so that you can talk and not be out of breath, but it frees you, and all the endorphins that you're creating. It's such a smart thing to do, Jennifer.
Yeah, I've enjoyed doing that with my clients, and I think it gives them the opportunity to really feel like they can make a change and make positive forward motion in their life as well as just getting out to walk. So,
well, do you ever have the husband on one side of you and the wife on the other side, and you're walking in the middle?
We have not perfected that yet.
I bet not.
That is a little bit hard. I think I might feel like I was watching a tennis match, trying to look back and forth in between both of them.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Or they start getting upset with each other and you're in the middle. But I think it's a great concept. And we were talking about, you do counseling and you do that for marriage couples. And what about couples that are thinking about getting married, or that they look like they're going down that marriage path? Do they come in and talk to you?
Right, yeah. At the Smalley Institute, and then also in my private practice, are able to do pre-marriage counseling. And it's one of the best things to be able to do for your marriage. We spend a lot of time, a lot of money planning a wedding, but don't put a lot of resources sometimes into getting prepared for our marriage. And so being able to spend even somewhere between 2 and 4 hours even to get some communication skills. I mean, people going into their wedding, there are already little conflicts. I mean, it's not,
yes.
That can be a very conflictual time, actually. But being able to learn how to deal with those so that they don't grow and don't cause bigger problems when things come up. So, yeah, premarital counseling is a great option just to learn some good communication skills for a good foundation for your marriage.
Now, do you do anything that's kind of out of the box about the way that you have them talk to each other, or the way you talk to them, or you do one-on-one and then you bring them together?
Most of the time we do sometimes do one-on-one, but a lot of times with couples, and especially in premarital, we would start with the couple really just learning some communication skills. And a lot of times we liken it to going through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, where, when you're the employee, your job is to listen and to make sure you understand what the customer wants.
Yes.
And when you're the customer, your job is to place your order. You don't talk and talk and talk about all the other things going on. You just share your feelings, your needs. So
I love
that.
We
kind of liken it to that.
And then if they'll always say at the end, "My pleasure," it'll be great.
Exactly.
I don't know where they got that from. That's so funny that he told, his rule is that everyone must say, after someone says thank you, it's always "my pleasure."
Right.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. And I heard that the first time. I thought, what a sweet guy that he did that. But everybody did that. Like, my pleasure, my pleasure. And so I heard somebody someplace other. I was eating and I said, "Thank you." And he goes, "My pleasure." And I went, I know he worked at Chick-fil-A at one time. I just feel sure. But I think that the communication skills between somebody, like when they're dating, what do you hear is the biggest problem, the most, questioned behavior?
I think probably one of the biggest problems is that we kind of put our guard up, where someone hurts our feelings, and so then we close ourselves off to that relationship for some time, which ends up putting more pressure and strain in the relationship. And so really learning to be able to come back to each other and address what happened in a calm way then allows us to not have that distance between us.
Well, what does it say when your husband... it's not anybody that I know personally, but says that they act like it never even happened. Just like they go on with life, like they said something to you and you got upset. They walk away, they come back in, and it's like, da-da-da-da, nothing ever happened.
So the biggest thing that we do talk about with couples is owning your part of it.
Yeah.
And so that is being able to validate your spouse that I hear that that's how you felt when this happened, and being able to own my part in it. Yeah, maybe I was in a hurry and I didn't even listen to you, or I can see that when I rushed off that made you think I didn't care about you, know, any of those things. But when we just don't own our part and we kind of just brush it off like it didn't happen, the other person is left feeling invalidated.
That's exactly right. Invalidated. I want to know where to get validated. That's exactly right. So we're going to come back. This is what I love to talk about. So you guys stay with us. We'll be right back on the Cindy Cochran Show with Jennifer Meredith, and she is a licensed clinical social worker, and she's here to give us expert advice. Don't go away.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the most opinionated talk show on radio.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and/or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympic Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited because right after us, Magnolia Parkway comes on. And they're all out there, you know, they're rallying. They're excited about coming here and talking to you guys. So don't miss that. That's right after the Cindy Cochran Show. Okay, here's, I just want to show Richard real fast. Look at that. I Googled him. I Googled Dwayne Ham, and that's what it said.
One thing I love about Cindy is she doesn't understand if you Google somebody, that could be a 4-year-old website. So you're dealing with somebody who believes whatever they read, again, typical Republican, and then doesn't know where it applies. So
I'm telling you, this is what, I mean, if somebody went and put his name in, then he needs to take it down if it's not right. But I'll get him he'll be so confused by the time he leaves here. He doesn't know what he's running about. But it says Dwayne Ham for Texas State.
He's running for the United States president. 16. You didn't know that?
Shut up.
Heck, he's going to be on your show. I thought you'd be ecstatic about it.
I was doing all this research. I listened to this whole thing that he spoke at. What else can I do? And but we'll find out. And I did give the wrong district though. It was 16, not 9. District 9 just keeps, and somebody's going to be on my shows on District 9. But anyway, it wasn't him. It says District 16, Dwayne Ham, Texas State Representative. And if that isn't correct, then Dwayne better call me. Dwayne, you better call me. But we'll find out tomorrow. Hey, how about that? Why don't you join us for that and see how that works out? That'll be so much fun to find out what this guy's running for.
So glad you're back on top of things, Cindy. So glad.
Now, you know, stress can cause a little bit of memory issues,
yeah,
a little bit of, you know, keeping things together.
That's right. So please.
We'll give her just a little bit of leeway, just for maybe one more day.
I mean, maybe I came back a day too early. That was it. Except I had to be here. I had to be here with Meredith. With Jennifer. Well, I want to call you Meredith. It's like having two.
I have two first names. I do. I get called Meredith. I answer to both. So
good.
You're safe.
Say, hey, Meredith. Okay, we were talking about just getting into about how relationships are. We don't have that much time left, but I want to talk. And she's going to come back. We're going to have her back, and I'll go walk and talk with her or whatever to get her to come back. But we're talking about how men can get over things real quicker than women can normally. Is that correct?
Well, I think we were kind of saying, too, that sometimes it seems that way, that it's male or female. Sometimes it's more different personalities. But sometimes people they may either say their piece and then feel like they're done and walk off, but it leaves their spouse feeling invalidated, feeling like something was left undone. And so sometimes that's the wife that, will feel like we've resolved the issue, but the husband doesn't. Sometimes it's the other way around. So
see, I think I am the type that won't argue it out. I hate arguing or yelling and that kind of stuff. And so I will just forget about it. But I don't forget about it. Apparently, I'm keeping it
right. So sometimes we always say that some people either tend to escalate where they might get a little bit louder in their argument, or they withdraw.
Right.
Where they say, oh, maybe it's not worth it, or I don't want to hurt their feelings, or, it's really not that big a deal, but then it is a big deal to you. And so then it kind of ends up, and even people who withdraw tend to, at some point, they've kind of held it in long enough to where then something happens and all of a sudden, I can't believe
they blow
you.
and do that. So I think it's interesting that men will be able to yell something out and they feel so much better because they got it out of their system, as we say. And then a woman doesn't want to, lose her demeanor that way and scream and yell, but they'll turn around sometimes and use the children as the, like, okay, I can't do it to him because he's going to get madder and I don't want to go through that. Right. So let me get this out on the dog, kick the dog, or whatever it is that helps. So I think you step back and you logically can say that. It just makes me crazy because I know intellectually that what I'm getting ready to say is going to make things worse. I know that it's going to make him go crazy because I know that button to push, right?
Well, so, that's an interesting part. And that's a big thing that one of the things that's changed for me is even being able to kind of be introspective again about what my part is. From a spiritual standpoint, I would say I would ask the Spirit to convict me of my part in that. And that has changed dramatically our marriage, because then I can say, oh, I can see that my response to you really fired you up. It really made you, or it made you feel unimportant or not valuable. And so then I can just come in and I can share what I'm feeling versus saying that thing that's just going to fuel the fire.
And that it's like your only weapon that you feel like you have. Like, I can make this, I can make him feel like I want to make him feel.
Right.
Now, having so many different personalities, and then sometimes your personalities are really, conflicting on a lot of parts, that if you could just change that person's personality a little bit, we could get along. So Richard has come up with multiple marriages, just multiple wives, as he feels like will be the best answer to that. Do you agree with him on that, Jennifer?
Well, so here's the deal. We're not going to be having multiple wives in here in the United States anyway.
It works and it doesn't work for some. I mean, you can't really hate on everybody.
Can't just say no to everybody, but we were kind of joking that sometimes it feels like if we could have all these different pieces of all the various personalities fit into one person, that would resolve things for us.
Always remember, they're thinking the same thing about you. So if you guys could probably get together and say, look, I don't like this about you, so when you're going to act like that, please walk away, or please, I just want him to agree with everything I say. And I think things would be fine then. And that really is, I think, subconsciously, subliminally, we are just wishing that. You just believe and say everything I say is right. We'll get along fine. We're not going to have any problem. But my husband will say, so, what can you say about what I just said? Nothing. I can't say anything. See, if you don't talk to me, I don't know. I said, no, wait a minute. You just told me. You told me everything that I needed to know about it. So I'm not going to answer.
One of the biggest things then becomes kind of putting your spouse, really valuing your spouse and what their opinion is, so that I am actually more concerned about understanding my spouse than I am proving myself right. And so when we both get into that place, that's where the magic comes.
No, that is where the magic comes. And listen, you've been listening to Jennifer Meredith, and she's a licensed clinical social worker. She has her own business in the Woodlands. It's called Walk and Talk. And if you missed the beginning of this program, please go to our archives, because she talks about what she does with some of her clients. They walk and talk it out. They go on the beautiful walking paths in the Woodlands and walk and talk it out. It's amazing, amazing concept. So thank you, Jennifer, for being here, and you will be back.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, all right. Thanks for listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. And we thank BK Meyer, Brad's photography. Yes, it's wonderful. BK Meyer's photography. Brad Meyer is a wonderful photographer. You guys check it out. And check out our Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show. So glad to be back. We'll be back tomorrow with Dwayne Ham and find out what is he running for anyway.
Thank you for checking out a podcast on Lone Star Internet Radio. Lone Star Internet Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas. If you are interested in sponsoring a program for Lone Star Internet Radio, just visit us online at irlonestar.com or message us on Facebook. We are always taking song requests on Twitter, and if you are interested in getting involved with the station, by either hosting your own show or if you want to be a DJ, just contact Dick at irlonestar.com. Lone Star Internet Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station.